The Three States of Being. Taf-seir of Surah Al-Baqarah, Part 2. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Sufi Essence with Hammad Syed. In our last session, we embarked on a profound spiritual journey into the opening verses of Surah Al-Baqarah, where we unveiled the characteristics of the meticulously, the spiritually vigilant, and the recipients of divine guidance. The Quran, however, is a comprehensive guide to the human condition, and its wisdom is not limited to describing the righteous. It also shines a brilliant light on the other archetypes of humanity. Today, we will explore the subsequent verses of Surah Al-Baqarah, where Allah describes two other fundamental states of the human soul, the state of the unbeliever and the state of the hypocrite. The first 5 verses describe the path of salvation. The verses we will now explore serve as a divine contrast, a warning, a diagnostic tool for the spiritual ailments that lead to perdition. These verses are not meant to condemn but to illuminate, helping us to recognize these states in our own hearts and to guard against them. Let us begin with the verses that describe the unbelievers, the kāfirūn. Inna aladna kafar, so'in alahim, anayam lam, tandiram, el yumin, katama, Allahu albku behim wa, alb samai, iwa, alba, Abrahim gishawatan, walaham, adbrahim, gishawatan, walaham, abun, agm. Indeed, those who disbelieve, it is all the same for them, whether you warn them or do not warn them, they will not believe. Allah has sealed their hearts and their hearing, and over their vision is a veil, and for them is a great punishment. These 2 verses paint a stark and powerful picture. The word kafar, to disbelieve, literally means to cover or to conceal. An unbeliever, from a Sufi perspective, is not someone who merely rejects a set of dogmas. They're someone who, through persistent rebellion and spiritual neglect, has covered their own inner light, the enchur of Allah that is placed in every soul. They have concealed the innate knowledge of their Creator that resides in their heart. The verse says that it makes no difference whether the prophet, peace be upon him, warns them or not. This is not a statement about the ineffectiveness of the prophet's message. Rather, it is a description of a specific spiritual state. This state is not a punishment inflicted arbitrarily by Allah. It is the natural consequence of the individual's persistent choice. When a person continually rejects the truth, when they actively turn away from the signs jait that are manifest in the universe and in their own being, their spiritual organs of perception, the heart, the hearing, and the sight, become hardened and sealed. Katama Allahu alb. Kolbihim. Allah has sealed their hearts. The heart, the kalb, is the seat of ilm and intuition. A sealed heart is one that is no longer receptive to divine love or wisdom. It is a heart that has become like a stone, impenetrable to the light of faith. Wa alb samayi, and their hearing. This refers to their spiritual hearing. They can hear the words of the Quran, but they cannot truly listen. The words register as sound but fail to penetrate the heart and bring about understanding or transformation. The message remains on the surface, a mere echo without resonance. Wa alb Ibrahim gishawatan, and over their vision is a veil. This is not a physical blindness, but a spiritual one. They can see the world, but they cannot see the signs of Allah in it. They look at the majesty of the cosmos, the intricate design of a flower, or the beauty of a sunset, and they see only a random occurrence, a meaningless coincidence. The veil prevents them from seeing the divine hand at work. This sealing is a consequence of their own free will. It is a spiritual law. Persistent denial leads to spiritual blindness. Now we move to the next profound archetype, the hypocrites. The munāfiqūn. The Quran dedicates more verses to the hypocrites than to the unbelievers, a testament to the profound danger they pose to themselves and to the community of believers. Wa min al-niyasiman, yakrumaman, biol, hi wa bilyami, al-kiri wa, imdihum by mumin. And among the people are some who say, we believe in Allah and the last day, but they are not believers. The word munfiq is derived from the root nafaka, which means to be like a mole or a rabbit that enters a burrow from one hole and exits from another. The hypocrite is a person with 2 faces, 2 contradictory realities. Their outward appearance is that of a believer, but their inner reality is one of doubt, disbelief, and hostility. The verses that follow lay bare the psychological and spiritual illness of the hypocrite. U kodi ana oha wa alodna jamanu wa md yakta ana il anfuzaham wa md yash earn. They seek to deceive Allah and those who believe, but they deceive not except themselves, and they do not perceive it. The hypocrisy is ultimately self-deception. The hypocrite believes they are a clever manipulator, playing a game to get the best of both worlds. They seek the benefits of being part of the Muslim community while secretly harboring disbelief and animosity. But the Quran tells us that this deception is a boomerang. It comes back to harm them. The greatest deception is to deceive oneself into believing one is on the right path when they are, in fact, spiritually lost. The Quran continues to diagnose their spiritual sickness. F. Kolbahim, American Fazda, Humu al-Hum, Wallahum, Adbun Elkman, Bimkanir, Yaktahib. In their hearts is a disease, and Allah has increased their disease. And for them is a painful punishment because of what they used to lie. The disease in their hearts is a combination of doubt, malice, envy, and spiritual insincerity. This disease is not passive. It is an active illness that spreads and consumes the heart. And just as their persistence in unbelief led to the sealing of the heart for the kāfirūn, the hypocrites' persistence in lying and spiritual deception leads to an increase in their disease. It is a spiritual law of cause and effect. A constant act of lying and pretending hardens the heart and makes it more and more difficult to receive the truth. The Quran then proceeds to give two magnificent parables, two metaphors that perfectly capture the tragic and deluded state of the hypocrites. The first parable, Mathaluum, Kamathali Alad, Istakata Naran, Falamakarat, Amdagalahu, Dahaba Allahu, Bin Krahim wa Tarakaham Efalumtin, El Yubquern. Their example is like that of one who kindled a fire. But when it illuminated what was around him, Allah took away their light and left them in darkness, so they could not see. The fire represents the temporary, fleeting illumination that the hypocrite gains from associating with the believers. This light is not divine light. It is the light of worldly benefit, of safety, of social status. It's a pragmatic, self-serving light that briefly illuminates their path. But as soon as Allah, the true source of all light, removes the counterfeit light, the hypocrite is left in a darkness far more profound than before. This darkness is the darkness of spiritual confusion, of a heart that has lost all ability to perceive the truth. The hypocrite had a choice to receive the divine light of faith, but they chose a momentary worldly light instead. The second parable is even more dramatic and powerful. Ah, Koka Ibn, Mina al-Samni, Foe, Olam Tanwa, Radunwa, Barkun Yaj, Alona Akabi, Aham Fa. Didna him, Mina, Hik, Iki Kadera, Al-Moti, Wa, Allahu, Mukfern, Yaktu, Al-Bark, Yakafu, Abraham Kalem, Aka Laham Mashau, Foiwa, Idan, Alama, Allahim, Kumor, Walasha, Allahu Ladahaba, by some Ayi, Wa Abrim Ina, Olha Albkali, Cheyenne Kador. Or it is like a storm from the sky within, which is darkness, thunder, and lightning. They put their fingers in their ears against the thunderclaps in fear of death. Allah is encompassing of the disbelievers. The lightning almost snatches away their sight. Every time it lights the way for them, they walk therein, but when darkness comes over them, they stand still. And if Allah had willed, He could have taken away their hearing and their vision. Indeed, Allah is over all things competent. This parable beautifully depicts the tumultuous inner world of the hypocrite. The storm is a metaphor for the divine revelation itself, the Quran and the message of the Prophet, peace be upon him. The illumined darkness is the spiritual confusion in their hearts. The raw-done thunder represents the divine warnings, the threats of punishment, the fear of Allah's wrath. This is the aspect of religion that the hypocrite fears, so they plug their ears to avoid hearing it. The Barkun lightning represents the fleeting moments of divine guidance, the glimpses of truth that momentarily illuminate the path. The hypocrites live in a state of spiritual paralysis. When the lightning flashes, they take a few steps, hoping to gain some worldly advantage from their association with the believers. But as soon as the darkness returns, they stand still, unable to move forward, unable to commit fully. They are caught between fear and a false hope, a perpetual state of spiritual anxiety and indecision. Their fear of death is not a fear of physical death, but a fear of the spiritual death that is the ultimate consequence of their state. They are trapped in a self-imposed prison of doubt and deceit. My dear viewers, in these verses, Allah, in His boundless wisdom, has provided us with a profound spiritual map of the human soul. We have seen the three states: the blessed state of the meticulously, who are guided and successful; the tragic state of the kāfirūn, who are spiritually sealed by their own choices; and the tumultuous, deluded state of the munāfiqūn, who live in a perpetual storm of self-deception. This divine revelation is a mirror for our own hearts. It compels us to ask ourselves, which path am I on? Am I on the path of yaqīn, or am I wandering in the darkness of doubt and hypocrisy? The purpose of this taf-seir is not to label others, but to illuminate our own inner world and to guide us toward the path of truth, sincerity, and unwavering faith. Join me in our next session as we delve deeper into this magnificent surah. Until then, may Allah bless you with ilm and yaqīn.